quite a bit. I think Drew asked about him
Right.
like a day or so ago. To begin the season, do you have a place for him yet in the bullpen?
Maybe.
I know he's very intriguing.
Yeah, he's intriguing. And what's intriguing is the potential, right? And I think the long-term potential of Justin, based on the power from that slot, right? Low three quarters with velocity and the ability to spin the ball, right? A lot of times you don't find that combo. A lot of times guys from down here with that velocity is just heavy sink, and they can't spin it. But he can spin the ball. So
With a slider, right? That's
whatever you want. Yeah, breaking ball, slider, whatever you want to call it. But I think there's a strikeout in there. I think there's a ground ball in there, and those are two good things. So we'll see whether his time is now opening with us during the season, or whether it's just a little bit more seasoning. But
Big year for him, or is that unfair to
every year is you're gonna hopefully he has like 10 big years. This is not like he's like 27, 6 years old or something. He's gonna big year. No, how about the next 10 years? Big.
Buddy, you've seen Hilliard move around. He's played some center. How good is he at right?
Fine, above average.
It seems that the athletic ability kind of plays everywhere. He says he tries to be just like a center fielder everywhere.
Where's he playing today? Left?
Left.
He's fine in left. He's fine in center, fine in left, fine in right.
How much does it deepen your squad if he's able to work in there, offensively especially? Left-handed bat.
Now you're getting there. We need him offensively. He's fine defensively. He can steal a base. He's going to play defense. He's going to play hard. He's shown power potential, right? I mean, the power grade's up there. It's just got to be more consistent.
How do you rate the at-bat so far this spring? I know it's a progression towards the season.
Better. He's changed his stance. He's changed his hand position. He's a little shorter and cleaner to the ball, which he worked on, starting last year. Remember how his hands were, really high. It's a lot of times it's a big adjustment for a guy to change his stance. And I wouldn't say his mechanics, but, sort of like how he's always done it. Some guys it's easy. They can do it they can try it one day and be fine. Other guys, man, sometimes it's hard. It's individually based, right? I don't know about Corey. I never had him, but Corey's played with guys who've no problem. Hey, I'm gonna try this and be good with it. And some guys you coach and say, hey, try this, and they go, why? I don't need to. I'm not saying Sam's that. But it's all individually based. But Sam has made, I wouldn't say drastic changes, but he's made significant changes to his hand position and a little bit of his thought process of trying to be more consistent as far as making contact.
I was intrigued by the fact that he did that during last season.
Yeah.
And got some good results at the end, but still stuck with it. But he did it during the season.
Yeah, that's part of the reason he went to winter ball, right? He wanted to continue to feel more comfortable. But
so I'll jump in on the learning or adjusting part of it. Because I'm not that bright anyway, but sometimes my ignorance works for me. So I talked to McMahon today.
Okay.
And I was saying, just looking at you, I figured, when you're 12 or 15 years old, you're a hitter. Was fielding always important to you? Was it natural to you? He basically said, no, I suck. I was like, what?
Really?
Yeah. And he said that when I got to this organization, I still feel not a good defensive player. I was like, okay. So my question is he's one of the best fielding third baseman in the game. How unusual is that you can go from you saying individually I'm no good to being
I didn't realize that. I just assumed, when everything I heard out of Matt, this is, a broader base, my own perspective, that high pick, high school quarterback, very solid baseball player to be scouted and picked very high. I assumed he was just an all-around player, but he played defense and had a beautiful swing. I never knew he thought of himself that way. So when I got here, he was a double-A player. And it just goes to show you that, you get athleticism combined with professional repetitions. And then on top of that, a work ethic and a work capacity, you can become an elite defender, which he is. And I think and he saw the benefit of hard work and work ethic and what work capacity is. And you guys heard me talk about work capacity, right?
Yeah.
You have some guys who can take 25 ground balls and they're done, tired. You have other guys who can take 250 and then they're tired. He has that 250.
Okay.
And hey, DJ LeMahieu, Trevor Story, Nolan, Charlie. He learned that from those guys. And he's passing that on now to Rogers, Tovar, and others.
Because typical me, I didn't look it up even though he told me. He said one of his first minor league seasons he made.
He made a ton of
I made like 40 errors.
You made a ton of errors,
And somebody said, hey,
Right.
you're gonna have to get rid of that.
Yeah.
And so he said, okay.
And that's repetitions, which you can. And I think in defense you can really get better in defense.
Okay.
Something
I think especially on the infield if you have the ability.
If you have like if you're high school court, if you have the athletic.
Yeah. Right.
something that both he and Nolan told me about that process in their early careers is, well, a name I should say, Jerry Weinstein.
Yeah.
What kind of asset is he for your
I think Jerry's I think experience, and I think always the ability to connect with players and also have the coaching talent to push guys and have guys respond. That's coaching, and that's the thing you look for. Any coach, no matter where it is, do your players respond to you? They respond to Jerry. They like him. He's likable, and I think the content is very solid.
Last thing on Ryan, I also asked him today, so I said, you're standing at third. Did you ever think you're standing on the same patch of dirt as the other guy?
Right.
I said no. You also just said, he learned from
Those guys.
So what's the balance between legacy helping you and maybe filling big shoes?
Well, I think you find that most players are comfortable in their own skin, right? And I don't think guys look over their shoulders. I think they have enough self-confidence that where they are and who they are is enough, right? And whether that's even coaches, players in other sports taking over for another guy, I think most guys, I don't know if they look forward to taking over. I don't know, but I think they're comfortable in their own ability. For Mac, my advice and recommendation to him is always be yourself, Mac. It's going to be great, and he hasn't really fulfilled his potential yet. I think we saw it last year on defense, man. He was great. He was awesome. I mean, the metrics tell you that, right? And not that I'm a big metrics guy, because I think some of them are skewed in some areas, and we've talked about that. But the eye test, man, it was really good, really good. So I'm proud of him in that regard. That he was given that position, and hey, listen, and going over to second base a third of the time, and making every play there, turn double play. That's not easy to do at all, and he did it. And where we put him in the shift and all those things, it's good stuff.